Hello, my name is Milton, and in this video I'm going to talk about CLIL. I'm going to explain what is the meaning of CLIL and in what situations and what are the characteristics of a CLIL classroom, why is implemented, nowadays why is implemented, and to show through a video. I'm going to explain a video in a short part of a video in which clearly is being used, a video called try and error, a classroom in a primary school classroom. Well, CLIL means content language integrated learning. CLIL is a system more than a method, than a particular method. Why I'm saying this? Because with CLIL, English is not teaching as an isolated language. It's part of a chain. It's part of a whole process. So English is teaching through geography, through maths, through social studies, through science. For example, in science, if you are in a CLIL classroom, apart from learning the vocabulary of the everyday activities, you can learn the vocabulary of the biology, germs, bacteria, etc. Another characteristic of CLIL is the use of different sense, in order to make the process of learning more effective. Could be the hear, the seeing, the touching, the audiovisual elements, that I'm going to activities which requires physical movement, because we have to remember that every student is different and every student learns differently. What is the meaning of this? That a learner learns differently. We have to remember the theory of Howard Gardner about the multiple intelligences, in which he shows that every human is different, and the process in which he or she learns is different. For example, there are students that are more musical, are students which are more logical, are students which learns better in groups, or there are students which learns better in isolated ways. So CLIL what CLIL wants to do is to incorporate all this theory, in which responds to the necessity or the way of learning of the students. Because of that, the teacher in a CLIL classroom must incorporate music, must incorporate physical activities, must incorporate realia. So the language is not learned by itself in a CLIL classroom. A language is a vehicle in which the language is learned. The objective is go beyond the learning of the language. So now I'm going to tell you what happens in this video and what are the elements that appears in the video, the elements of CLIL. We have to remember that CLIL is an integration of different subjects, not only English by itself. CLIL incorporates the sense, the hear, the seeing, yes, the touching, the physical activities, the hand-on activities, the realia. Yeah? Well, in this video called Try and Error, the students must do, first of all, the teacher presents the topic, which is how to protect the egg. Yes? So they are given the elements in which they are going to work with, so there appear realia. They have to create some prototype in order, now I'm going to explain how they are going to protect it. They have to create a prototype in which they have to avoid the egg to be broken. Yes? So what are the elements that make CLIL appear? First of all, realia. So they learned about the elements given are a balloon, an egg, sticks, strings. The elements they can see and associate with an activity in which they have to use logical thinking, yes, logical thinking, creative thinking, and resilience. One of the reasons CLIL appears is because of this failure in older methods, because in the past and also in the present, children are learning through memorization, and the PISA exams shows that they weren't able to apply knowledge. So they in groups they have to attach an egg to a balloon, and they have to let it flow. When the balloon falls out, the egg has not to be broken, or it has not to be broken. In some cases, they couldn't avoid the egg to be broken. So what they have to do to think the way in groups, because the work is in groups, to rearrange this prototype with the balloon and with the egg in order not to have the egg broken. Yes? So we have logical thinking, because they have to find a way to rearrange something. Creativity, yes, creativity, something change things. And resilience, to be capable of resist to failure. In this case, capable to resist to failure. So we have realia appears, CLIL. We have logical thinking, yes, and we have creativity. The three things that CLIL try to incorporate in the class in order to then in future jobs students could be able to apply the knowledge. And another element of CLIL here is that, as I mentioned, the language is a part of the process of learning. Yes, so that was CLIL. I expect that I was clear, well, bye to all of you.